Not quite as hot as today, but a very high fire danger still exists, while a total fire ban remains in place until Tuesday night.
In a small Adelaide community recently devastated by bushfire and stripped of its signature landscape, a proposal for a new residence by a local media personality earlier this week has generated debate within the community. Borat reports from the scene.
This is a Borat at the scene of the crime. The bushfire has denuded the entire area, leaving nothing of value. All that is left are these gypsies, who have quickly erected shanty shacks. The true landowners intend to throw these gypsies out and rebuild as soon as possible with the updated building code.
An effort was made by landowners and the city to develop a master plan that would enable the natural environment to regenerate. However, no master plan materialised from this planning process. Landowners were eager to begin rebuilding on an individual basis as soon as possible, and the council agreed to process the approvals quickly. The debate has risen due to conflicting concerns and values amongst the community, as during the failed attempt at a master plan, the city agreed to allow rebuilding to the maximum allowable allotments. This conflicts with the community's concern about regenerating the natural environment.
Over the past decade, male modeling has had a shadow cast over it by one man and 5 syllables. Dare.
Exulander.
I approached the architect Bob Loblaw to build me a new house.
He's a fresh new face on the architectural scene, and I knew Hansel hadn't heard of him. Straight away I knew I liked him because he said to me, "Derek, you are really, really, really good looking." But anyway, I had a plan for my house to take in the $1,000,000 views from all aspects and create great places for me to entertain all my favorite friends. Of course, it would be one of the first houses rebuilt after the fire and would be very visible within the neighborhood. My friends at council have given me full approval to build on the maximum allowable area. Apparently it falls under new building code or something like that. So I went to Bob and told him, "Build me the biggest house you can." Anyway, I went to his office the other day and wasn't very happy with his first scheme. It was too small for Derek Zoolander. Half the site had trees and grass on it.
Needless to say, I wasn't very happy.
Without much further ado, I give you...
What is this?
A center for ants? Derek, it's just a
I don't want to hear your excuses! The center has to be at least 3 times bigger than this.
Looking at it, I don't feel like he has channeled Derek Zoolander into the building at all. It should be big, bold, beautiful. I want to look out on the city every day from all parts of my house. I understand that after the fire the earth must heal with trees and grass. I'm a person of the earth. It's just, like, why would you put a tree in front of this face? Like, really, come on. You know, I've had a talk to Bob, and we are all cool. He knows I'm the boss. Anyway, I know heaps and heaps of famous people, so they will totally want to use Bob if he has built a house for Derek Zoolander.
It'll be really good for his business.
I've been interested in Bloblaw's work for many years now, but have yet had a proper opportunity to fully assess his ability as an architect. The success of this project will give me a great confidence in his work.
When I was initially commissioned by the client, I saw the project as a real opportunity to establish myself as a renowned architect in the city of Adelaide, whilst demonstrating and expressing my design skills and setting the tone for future building design in the area. My first impressions of the project brief suggested a strong desirability to preserve as much of the site for green space, both from an ecological perspective and a community standpoint. Whilst the client requested maximising the vertical envelope, I felt that this would result in negative aspects on adjoining allotments, views and privacy issues. It seemed clear to me that matching the vernacular to the character of the area would assist in resale value and community opinion. However, the client insisted the design did not utilise full area of the site permitted, nor did it maximise the view, and requested I compose a new design. It was at this point that I was confronted by an ethical dilemma. As the architect, I have a duty not only to my client, but also the larger community. I went about exploring all my options and discovered I could choose one of 4. If I were to terminate the project, it would limit bad feedback from the community, whilst also adhering to my personal beliefs. However, this could hinder my chances of establishing myself in Adelaide and possibly limit future commissions. It also occurred to me that there was no guarantee that the next architect would do what was ethically right, which would make my efforts seem wasted. If I were to stay with the initial design and insist that it was the best possible outcome for the client and the design program, it may not give the client everything they wanted, but it would provide the community the area for regeneration and privacy while still meeting my ethical standpoint. This would then leave the decision with the client, but could end in me losing the job. If I were to surrender and give the client exactly what he wanted, it would forever be a reminder of something that my company wants not to be associated with. It would go against my ethics, the requests of the community for vernacular interaction and environmental regeneration and privacy, and make my company appear easy to persuade. On a positive note, it could make future commissions easier to obtain, while strongly helping to establish my business in Adelaide. In the end, I concluded that ethically it was best to try and redesign the project. This provided me with the opportunity to find a compromise which the client, the community, and myself would be happy with, which is essentially the task of the architect as the mediator. Although this could possibly require more designs and more work from me, I feel it would give me a chance to meet the design brief more accurately and produce something that provides the client with what he wants and that we are both proud of. It would also give me the opportunity to educate the client on environmental design, which, I feel, if the client had a better understanding of, would increase his respect for and recognition of the need for environmental design in his development. The community would also gain the necessary space for regeneration and privacy, whilst also being provided with a precedent for the area's future direction. From a personal perspective, it helps me attract future jobs and whilst establishing my business in Adelaide. But more importantly, I feel this is the best approach as it meets my ethical viewpoint